Well, hello everybody and welcome to Assembly, and I'm going to go straight in with some boys sports reports. So with a lack of fixtures at present, we've planned a series of house sports events between now and Christmas, which I have to say I'm delighted about. The first of these took place recently and was third form girls hockey and boys touch rugby. The afternoon was a great success with some excellent competition, and the results as follows. In the girls hockey, in third place was Hope, in second place Queens, and in first place, many congratulations, was Temple. And in touch rugby, second equal, Manor, Linton and School. And in first place, Temple again. So very well done indeed. Very sporty people over there in Temple. Great news. So do keep an eye on more house events to follow. School's challenge has been going very well for the upper sixth. I thoroughly enjoyed my little time as Jeremy Paxman in the question chair. Debating has also taken place this week, and so I'm very much looking forward to a report on that for next week. A message from Ms. Slay at CCF. An email has been sent out to all fourth form pupils regarding CCF. If you wish to join the CCF after half term, please do register your interest by emailing Captain Slay as soon as possible. Do have a look on the board just off the monkey cage as well, just the CCF board there, just a few little insights into it. Fantastic organisation there, the CCF, and I do heartily recommend it to you all. A lovely new initiative from an old Peterite, and this is to do with Mission Discovery Summer School. And to coincide with Space Week, we're delighted to be launching this exciting new initiative, which has been made possible by the generosity of an old Peterite and his wife, and that's Mr. and Mrs. Colin Lang. And Mr. Lang left St. Peter's in July 1971. And Mission Discovery School is the chance to do something extraordinary and work alongside astronauts, NASA role models, NASA personnel, astronaut trainers, scientists and engineers carrying out activities and designing experiments. So for the first time that we've done this year, third and fourth form pupils are invited to apply with the opportunity to be selected for one of two places at that week-long summer school. It will take place, God willing, physically at King's College in London in July 2021. And to find out how to apply for more information, please check this week's newsletter or speak with Mr. Edwards or Mr. Parr. Deadline for applications is the 9th of November. Don't miss out on an experience which I only read this stuff, I didn't write it, an experience that apparently will be out of this world. So enjoy and do crack on with that third and fourth form. So, and finally from me, we're currently, as I'm sure you're aware, in Mental Health Week. I'm also sure you're aware that mental health is like physical health. We all have one. And it's very important to be aware of our mental health in the same way that we are always conscious of our physical health. And we all, of course, have experience of positive mental health and times when we're consciously happy, but those times can sometimes go past unnoticed. When I used to teach a section about psychology and memory, I used to ask my classes to recall a very, very strong memory, and then I would ask them whether it was a positive or negative one. And sadly, the majority were negative memories, and often we perhaps are more conscious of our negative mental health than our positive. It is really important to observe and be aware of when we are happy and what makes us happy. Well, the same causes of anxiety have been present for generations, such as worries about relationships at home and at school, our self-image, concern about the future and what it might hold. And this year, of course, there's been a noticeable and perhaps unexpected rise of anxiety and uncertainty on top of all those usual pressures caused by COVID-19 and the process of going into and coming out of lockdown. Well, all this affects everyone, and I'm no more immune than anybody else. The last 7 months, whilst it's been enormously rewarding in many ways, has been a period of long hours, few days off and reduced downtime, and in that I'm no different to any of my colleagues either, or any of your parents. Like all of my colleagues, I've had an enormous amount to do, and I've chosen to look at it as a series of challenging puzzles and questions. And that's been things such as how should we go about closing a physical school and reopening one online, and my goodness, the Easter holiday seems an incredibly long time ago now. How would we keep on being St. Peter's during lockdown, keeping the academic, the co-curricular, the house and pastoral activities going, and also retaining a sense of community? How would exam results work, and what was going to be the process of producing really strong and accurate centre-assessed grades? And then how would reopening work, and what are the structures needed for us to follow or exceed to make sure that we keep the guidelines but also keep ourselves safe? And it's a strange one, this, because as humans, we all like to be problem solvers, and we have to accept that there are some things which are difficult or impossible to solve at times like this. And uncertainty about the future as well, such as when will it ever end? How will exams operate next summer? And alongside that, of course, all the usual day-to-day hurly-burly life of the school. Well, there's been a wealth of research into mental health in recent years and much understanding of the practical steps that we can take. So this week, for example, the chaplain has been speaking on the theme of being kind to others and being grateful. And the gratitude display in the monkey cage is a brilliant example. It's been really affirming to see all the messages of thanks which are there, written and put out on the show. So do pause at some point and have a look. And one of our school charities is Mind, the mental health charity. And on their website, they suggest a number of ways that we can work on positive mental health. Mental health is a deeply personal thing, and what affects us and the best ways of managing it will vary from one individual to another. But I thought it might be useful to share with you their list of suggestions and some of the ways in which I try and put them into practice. And the first one is to relax and reduce stress, and I do try and do that. I try and plan some breaks over the weekends and put things in my diary that are non-work related. I find keeping optimistic helps me a great deal, and I know some of you are familiar with my phrases, my mantras, but staying positive, notice the good stuff, saying to myself, it is what it is sometimes, this too shall pass, all those sorts of things I do find very helpful, and from time to time a little bit of mindfulness and meditation as well. The next category is to learn and be creative, and what a remarkable thing to be in a school and to be reading that. And of course my last assembly was on the theme of creativity. So for me, I have been trying to learn more Greek. I have to be honest with you and say that was picked up during the start of lockdown and didn't last quite as long as I hoped it would do, but I do try and get back to it from time to time. The other promise I made was I was going to learn how to use Instagram. Nope, still haven't done that one then, so it's still on the to-do list. I used to do watercolour painting when I was younger, and so I found myself buying some watercolours and some cartridge paper and so forth, and sadly haven't yet got around to that one either. So this is definitely a category for me in my could do better, and probably would enjoy doing better as well. So in a way, I suppose a bit of cooking is about the only bit of creative stuff perhaps that I'm doing at present. The next one is spending time in nature, and we're quite fortunate in a way that we live in quite a countryside place around here, as well as obviously being in the city as well. So for me, being around nature is a good thing. I do like a bit of gardening, and I do like walking the dog. And you're getting old when I was on my running machine on Sunday morning watching the rerun of Gardener's World on my running machine on a Sunday morning from the Friday night, and I did reflect, yes, the midlife crisis possibly has begun. The next one is connecting with others, and for me, I found it really important to try and get out and about and around the school and actually planning that time and actively saying I want to go for a wander around the place and making sure I catch up with people, because that's one of the things which I know we've all found more difficult. But I'm quite busy on WhatsApp with groups of friends as well, so trying to stay connected with friends and people outside the school and further afield. Looking after physical health, well, you won't believe it to look at me, but I do actually go running every morning, and I find that enormously beneficial, as well as catching up on box sets as I use the running machine in the garage. And then the last one, try and get enough sleep. Well, I'm pretty fortunate in that area, but yeah, from time to time, I do find myself waking up with my brain all of a whir, and so finding strategies for that and a bit of mindfulness I find personally very helpful. So it's not easy. It's very easy to trot out those things and say them. It's certainly not easy if you have significant anxiety levels, but do have a look at the practical things that we can all do. And I'm sure you'll notice, as I did, that you probably are doing a lot of them already. And I found that really positive to realise that, but also to see whether there are new things that we could try. And finally for me, have a really good break when the weekend comes, in the nicest possible way. Most of us are starting to look pretty tired, and so do make the most of everything that's going on next week as well, but in the safe and sure knowledge that half term is on its way. But for now, go well, crack on.